I'm Austin John, and this is the LEGO Brick League.
Welcome to LEGO Brick League, a content creation competition among the coolest creators across the world.
Gamers like yours truly are presented with the challenge of using LEGO gaming sets and making brand new builds that answer the challenge at hand. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There's one rule that makes this challenge much harder. I can only use LEGO pieces from that LEGO gaming set. 2 weeks ago was the Minecraft challenge, using 6 sets to show what kind of Minecrafter I am. Last week was the Sonic the Hedgehog challenge, where I had to demonstrate if I was as fast as Sonic, what would I do in LEGO form. But now is the final challenge, and that challenge is LEGO Fortnite. LEGO Fortnite is a free sandbox game of LEGO minifigs, bricks, and builds in the Fortnite engine by Epic Games. Opening week added over 2.4 million concurrent players. You spawn into an open world, mine, chop, and build structures in a variety of biomes. Make crafting tables, farm food, do animal husbandry things, upgrade your gear, all to tackle harsher environments and take down stronger foes. When it first launched December 2023, I loved it. I got some friends and we played modestly, maybe 100 plus hours in the game. We got all the strongest tools, weapons, and since then, there's been a number of updates to the game. LEGO sent over a total of 4 boxes to me. The first 2 were the Minecraft and Sonic challenges, and the last 2 are here, and that's everything for my LEGO Fortnite challenge. They sent over every LEGO Fortnite set to me. The Supply Llama, the Durr Burger, the massive Peely Bone statue, and 2 battle buses. And the final blue box, which I should have brought it with me. The LEGO Brick League. Your game, your build. Honestly, this one didn't survive the transportation as well, so I had to rebuild it quite a bit. A custom LEGO Fortnite backpack. This is not a LEGO Fortnite backpack. This is a LEGO Fortnite backpack. Because as far as I know, you can't unlock a backpack in LEGO Fortnite, or I haven't found one. I also really love the way they took tank treads and made it into the backpack straps. I think this is a really amazing looking build. If only I had so much of one color in any of these challenges. If any of those boxes, any of these challenges had enough of just one color, I could build cool stuff like this, but I have to get more creative. My final prompt, my large poster, had my question for me. My final LEGO Brick League challenge is to use these 4,206 LEGO pieces to build my most awesome adventure. I'm not gonna lie, that's a really open-ended question. Like in real life, like in LEGO, like in Fortnite. Listen, a lot of these prompts are pretty open-ended, but this one takes the cake. And honestly, it took me a lot of time to think about. And at first I had like kind of a cool idea on like, what's my ultimate adventure? I would have a portal in a portal room that allows me to go into different worlds or dimensions to like see alternate realities, which would allow me to build like a cool ultra modern world and like a spooky world, and one where, I don't know, everything is slime or something. And doing that, I could show off a variety of different build techniques and doing crazy stuff. But again, I'm limited by the parts of my challenge. I almost said limited by the technology of our time. I realized at that point that I played a lot of LEGO Fortnite when it first came out, but I haven't really played it since then. I took about 20-30 hours or so to get reacquainted with the game, the mechanics, the world, the game progression, and everything else. LEGO Fortnite, now called LEGO Fortnite Odyssey, which is like the main open world aspect of it, because there's a bunch of modes now, one where you have a social experience in a city. There's the islands, which are user-created things, and LEGO makes some, like they had a Toy Factory game. Although my preference of factory games, I want something a little bit more intense. Because I remember in my first world, I had Bright Bomber, I had Peely, I had Meow Skulls. They were all in my various villages. Played through the game more and I saw everything was going on, and I didn't have all my original characters that I grew familiar with. Instead, I have a guy in a T-Rex outfit. So I went back to my original world and then I just played more there. Hang on, I'm getting ahead of myself. And also kind of sidetracked and kind of procrastinating there, past Austin. I need to see what I'm working with. Okay, let's get started. So I decided to upgrade my storage and organization, not just for this challenge, but what I would do with all of my Lego pieces that I own, even after the challenge.
This sounds like an additional way that you're procrastinating.
Up until now, I just have like the big yellow Lego brick cube, but now that I have more than 8,000 pieces from all of these challenges, I wanted a place that I could put them, organize them, and store them. I looked up YouTube tutorials, I looked up websites, I downloaded PDFs of organization methods.
And I got a whole thing and a lot of organization containers all over there. This makes my building a little bit easier, a little bit more organized instead of the many small bowls that I've been using.
I use these stacked Alex drawers and a bunch of these storage trays to keep track of all of the other 2 challenge pieces, that way they wouldn't get contaminated in this build or anything else. I also use these large trays from all of the larger elements instead of the many paper bowls I had before for a better, cleaner organization. It let me sort and categorize more than double the pieces faster than before, so I'm really happy that I did this. And going forward, anytime I'm doing a Lego build, I'm gonna be using these trays just to make my life so much easier. Here are all of the small pieces, all of the larger pieces, all of the 30-degree slopes. Charlie wanted to come and say hi, right, Charlie? All of my plates, all of my tiles, all of the unique things over there. And this is all of the snot bricks, studs not on top. There are so many of them in different categories as well. While I was going through all the bricks, I found some really interesting things that are part of the build, so I just kind of wanted to build them. Like of the giant Peely statue, making the banana hammer, it seemed really cool. Sorry, the official term is Peely Bones Peely Pick Pickaxe. There it is. I wanted to have the supply llama's head built. You know, I could always take it apart if I need pieces from it, but I don't know, I just thought they were cool. When I was organizing, I realized that I had an idea that wouldn't work based on the pieces that I had, so I had to pivot, and I had to pivot hard. And I have a rough idea on what I want to do, and I'm thinking I want to do a ship, because I have a whole bunch of beautiful blue pieces that I kind of want to work with. So I think I want to make a boat that's going to be a variation of the llama. So it's going to be a giant llama boat, but it's banana themed. And I think that's what I want to do. I'm going to start working on it. We'll see how it comes out. Looking at the llama head, I couldn't imagine a better figurehead for the forward of the ship. And I didn't have a lot of options for the front hull of the ship. Optimally, I would want something that's either a smooth slope or an angle, or if I'm doing a pontoon style, there's so many different types of sea vessels. I ended up using the large slope pieces from the top of the burger bun, and that presented the challenge of, well, how am I gonna make these upside down? I got to work on the hold of the ship, the main body that everything would attach onto, and this would be the large, very firm supporting structure. And since the Fortnite bus doesn't have any studs anywhere, I had a huge surplus of snot elements. The llama's body is all 2 long, 2/3 high curved pieces and a lot of bright colors, so I decided to take a step away from building with realism and build more into Legoism. The large, over-the-top, bright colors, fanciful designs, and really embrace it. So this would be more of a wooden ship with a large, colorful, pinata-esque feel to it, if that makes any sense. The sides of the ship would have snot bricks, holding long plates which I was able to attach all the sloped pieces onto. I used the blue windows from the bus to break up the sides and let light into the lower deck. I then also used snot pieces on snot pieces to invert the burger bun for the front of the ship, and it stays there surprisingly well. I made sure to reinforce it quite a bit on the inside so this couldn't fall off, since this is the only point that it's attached onto. It's actually really sturdy. I'm pretty happy with the way that it came out. I used the taller snot pieces, and that seemed to do the trick. And I'm actually really proud of this one. I then used the Peely Bones body, long yellow curved pieces to match the burger bun slope size for a smooth front side of the ship. I attached even more slopes with snot elements and provided a secure way to mount the figurehead, and it looks pretty great there. I took a lot of trial and error finding all the pieces that work together just right to overcome the challenge of having these inverted pieces. The side flaps from the supply llama would actually make a perfect cargo hold hatch. I made sure to keep brown as the wood element all throughout the top, and then the outside is where we get more fanciful. It was also here that I started to take the weird sort of 45-degree elements from the bus build. I attached them together and I thought it provided some really nice detail for the side of the ship. I would come back later and dress these up a little bit more, but I wanted to lay out exactly where they would be and finding out the exact size of this snot piece to this snot piece in order for them to match, which actually proved more of a challenge for myself. But I keep making this build harder and harder for me, but honestly, when it comes to a boat, Lego boats have been done so much. From like classic pirate series to more authentic ones. It had to not just look like a square that I would say would be on water, right? Plus, between you and me, I watch a lot of Lego Masters. I've seen all the seasons. Shout out to my AFAL, Michelle, who really helped me with this entire challenge throughout all 3 parts, and the lessons that she said has helped me out. Since then, I've actually spoken to her and I've shown her like my final builds and everything, and she's super proud of me and I love it. And the entire time while I'm building this, I could just imagine Amy in my head being like, oh, and I really like the way that you took these pieces here and was able to incorporate them. My accent is horrible. If by chance you see this, I'm so sorry. Big fan of the show. I used those unique 45-degree angled pieces to actually go up and extend onto what would become the captain's quarters. I extended upward and outward from the aft, the bottom rear of the ship, to give the build a little bit more dimension, moving away from being so blocky, kind of more in line with the style of a 17th century English merchant ship. Boats have always fascinated me, not as much as trains. I do love a good chew. I used the blue door to section off the captain's quarters, slightly below the main deck as to not build it up too high. I put together a lot of the brown stick-like elements from Peely's pickaxe for the mast and used a quarter of the bus's hot air balloon for a sail. From here is just a few more rounds of detailing and let the adventure begin. Unlike the last 2 challenges, I didn't have an amazing idea going into it. I sort of drew inspiration from the bricks, from the actual pieces that I had to create this story and this boat. And I decided to base it off of my experience in LEGO Fortnite. Some of my earliest villagers, Bright Bomber and Meowskulls, who big fan of Meowskulls by the way. We ran into Peely and we started to develop our town pretty great. I mean, I have this small little shack here that's able to, have all my supplies and my workbenches. I put them on top of the chest for organization because ultimately I'd be building my larger builds in other areas. Oh, and this enormous Japanese style castle behind me, also that. But Peely came to me and he said that he wanted to see the world before he browned. So we followed a rainbow butterfly over to a supply llama, got all the supplies that we needed, chopped wood, got materials, and built the Banana Adventure Boat. Powered by bananas, built for bananas, built from bananas, all to transport bananas, to help our sentient banana see the world. Me, Bright Bomber, and our first mate Meowskulls set sail for Peely's great adventure. In my mind, this sort of feels more like the Lego movie, how they had these things that were already built and they made them into various things. Vehicles, double-decker couches, whatever it is. We were able to take what bricks and what items we had in front of us and rearrange it in a way that served as a vehicle for our needs, for Peely's grand adventure. I took a lot of the leftover blue elements and I made sort of a part of an ocean for the boat to rest on. Our cargo hatch is holding some of our most precious valuables, bananas, and in the captain's quarters is where we keep our safe and dry supply of dynamite, in case we run into any obstacles, or rocks. Rocks are obstacles. It doesn't have to just be bad guys, but whatever obstacles, So there we go. That is my 3rd and final challenge here on the LEGO Gaming Brick League. I hope you would enjoy this journey as much as I did. I've never built creative builds from Lego bricks before. Everything has been to the instruction manual, 1-to-1, but having this freedom within a limitation to build whatever I could think of, I think it really did a lot for me. as far as enjoying Lego. I'm very excited for the future coming up ahead, especially with the collaborations that they have planned for next year. Viewers of my channel, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this deviation from my regular content. If you did, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button down below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. Until next time, Austin John out.